Hot Springs Village Inside Out is a closer look at the largest gated community in North America, spanning 26,000 acres in the Ouachita Mountains in south central Arkansas. Join me, Randy Cantrell, and some occasional guests as we explore Hot Springs Village Inside Out. HSV Inside Out is sponsored by Ike Eisenhower State Farm. Ike and his award-winning team have been serving the insurance needs of folks all around Hot Springs Village since 1998. Call Ike Eisenhower State Farm today at 501-984-4100. That's 501-984-4100. Find them online at ikeeisenhower.net. Call them today for all your insurance needs because, like a good neighbor, Ike Eisenhower State Farm is there. Also sponsored by McGraw Realtors, located in the heart of Hot Springs Village, the fastest growing real estate office with over 30 agents and staff. Executive brokers Lori and Ken Henderson, along with realtor and waterfront specialist Rick Marshall, they're eager to share the special features of Hot Springs Village with you. For a complimentary relocation packet, call Ken and Lori at 501-276-3018 or Rick Marshall at 501-601-RICK. They are McGraw Realtors of Hot Springs Village. Garrett, Ray, and Melinda have all sent emails within the last week asking me if I would do an episode about day in the life of, words to that effect. I replied to each of them privately in an email, and I said, man, it looks different for everybody. Welcome to HSV Inside Out. My name is Randy. You knew that already. Day in the life for us may not look like day in the life for you. So there's my disclaimer right up front. So let's begin by talking about some of the considerations that I know are very important based on the emails and the messages that I've received. There are some of you, and retirement is it's the thing. It's put our feet up, or get our golf shoes on, and we're not hitting it a lick anymore as far as work goes. We're just going to hit golf balls or pickleballs or tennis balls. Or we're going to cast our hook in the water. Whatever that activity is, and you're full-time retired, it's over, it's done, the whole work thing, then the world's your oyster. You can make life inside Hot Springs Village whatever it is that you want, provided living in a forest and in the mountains here in south central Arkansas kind of checks the boxes for you. If the boxes that are checked are what we have around here, that's great and wonderful. And you can make it anything that you want. You want nightlife, and you don't mind driving a little ways, you can do that. You want entertainment and fine dining, you can go to Hot Springs, you can go to Little Rock, you could take an excursion even, take a few days and go to Memphis, go to Nashville. Yes, all of that's available. Do you want to be right in the thick of nightlife? Then Hot Springs Village is not your place because, well, there's not much nightlife right here in Hot Springs Village. So again, this is where you really have got to be in touch with yourself, and you got to know what you want and what would most make you happy, satisfied, okay, just content. If you are full-time retired, though, I can't imagine anybody who would be attracted to a place like Hot Springs Village and it just not be able to check whatever boxes you need to check. I think the people that I hear from that I think would be disappointed would be people who really need a lot of social interaction, a lot of big group things, a lot of concerts, a lot of parties, a lot of that kind of a lifestyle. You might be disappointed. It is, for instance, one of the big attractions to the villages down in Florida. Now, keep in mind, this is apples and oranges. Yeah, they both may have the word village in there, but these are not similar in any way, shape, or form. If you want that whole vibrancy scene, that that, drive your golf cart to a big town square in any of the number of the villages that make up the villages. And there's a lot of people and there's live music and it's just a happening kind of a place. That is not Hot Springs Village. And those of us that love it here, we would be miserable, just completely miserable in the villages in Florida. But there's 150,000 plus and growing in the villages, so it's clearly enormously popular, and clearly that appeals to a lot of folks, specifically 55 and older folks. That's just not what a day in the life looks like for me, and it's not what a day in the life looks like here. A day in the life here is going to look different. If I were to set 6 people around a table and we were to talk to them, and I'm probably going to do this, by the way, and just say, I don't know, describe your life here so the audience can kind of get some sense of it. You're probably going to hear 6 different answers. You might hear 1 or 2 that are kind of sort of similar, but they're probably all going to be very different. The second group, so that first group, fully retired, the dollars are taken care of, not worried about it. Maybe we have a modest amount and we can live a modest life. Maybe we've always had a high-flying life and we can live a high-flying life in retirement. Then good for all of you. Do what you want. Again, the world's your oyster. The second group that I hear from are people who are retired full-time, but they still work part-time. And maybe they work part-time in their own enterprise. Maybe they work part-time for somebody else. Maybe they do freelance work part-time. A subset of that group that I hear from are people who they've hit retirement age, they're collecting Social Security, but they really need an additional amount of money every month, and an additional $500 or so a month would make a meaningful difference in their life. And they inquire, what are opportunities like? I need a little part-time job, because if I can make an extra $500 a month, then we won't have to just sweat bullets. And what are the opportunities for me there? So that's kind of the second group. I fall into the third group, and I have no idea how big this group is. Rhonda works, I would say, part-time, and she does all of her work is completely remote. She works for a surgeon over in Dallas-Fort Worth. She has worked for this man for a long, long time, and her career's kind of tethered to him. Once he retires, that's probably going to be it for her as far as work and income. She also has her own little enterprise. She is incredibly industrious and creative, and she loves to sew, and she is a master seamstress. And so she does that work and loves it. That's her passion. Sewing is her passion. She makes a little bit of money, but it's really not about making money. She's just really trying to make enough money from her hobby that it kind of pays for itself. And that's perfectly acceptable. Me, I'm not retired at all. I'm as busy as I've ever been. I've been coaching leaders and executives for a dozen years or more. These days, I'm very focused, and have been for the last recent years, for leaders in city government. Think city managers and directors. And I do that work predominantly, I do it all in the state of Texas. And I've got clients all over. The bulk of the work is still in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Some of that work I do in person. There's some seminars and sessions and in-person kind of stuff. And much of that stuff that I do, whether it's group or individual, I do remotely. So I can do that. I can do that from anywhere. And I've got a lengthy list of clients. That's the day job. That's the pay the bills. That's the cash flow. This retirement age, not retirement, but retirement age, because Ron and I both are, I'm coming up real hard on 68, and she's not far behind me. But we don't have any plans to step away and not work. And it's because we don't want to, pure and simple. So our life can look very different day to day. There can be days where I've got a whole lot of client work, and there may be another day, and I don't have any client work. But I got other lures in the water. I also do some other online shows, and the main one that I do is this one. But second to this one, I would say, is really related to the work, and it's at growgreat.com. And it's a city government leadership podcast that I do with a deputy director from the city of Grand Prairie, Texas, which is a big suburb of Dallas-Fort Worth, Lisa Norris. And so Lisa and I will have recorded conversations having to do with leadership in city government. And so that takes some time. I do some volunteer work that is church and spiritual related. That's very important. That's probably work that I'm going to spend half a day to a day a week doing, not in a single kind of moment in time necessarily, but that takes some time. And again, it's a passion project. Hot Springs Village Inside Out. Hot Springs Village Inside Out began as a passion project. It is still a passion project. I loved the place, fell in love with the place when we first visited in 2018, had a lot of questions. This show was born strictly out of my curiosity. I just wanted to learn more about this place. Secondarily, it was formed because I just wanted to shine a bright light on the place. The village is such a terrific place. I just think more of you need to know about it. And what you decide to do with that knowledge, that's strictly up to you. I'm not trying to convert anybody and make somebody fall in love with the place. When we came over, I'd never heard of the place. And I'm like, how have I lived all of my life in Louisiana, Texas, and Oklahoma, and I've never heard of Hot Springs Village? And on June the 1st, Hot Springs Village will celebrate 55 years. I mean, come on, you'd have thought I would at least heard about the place. And I'm not saying that to slam any marketing efforts or anything. It's just, it is such a quiet little hidden gem of a place, and I wanted to shine a bright light on it. And thanks to sponsors who help pay the bills so that I'm not out of pocket trying to produce this show, Ike Eisenhower State Farm and McGraw Realtor, specifically Ken and Lori Henderson and Rick Marshall, big shout out to them, because they make this possible. I couldn't do this without them, pure and simple. I just couldn't do it without them. It would be costing me money that I really don't have and don't want to spend it, because I got a wife and I got a family, and I got priorities just like you do. So there's that. So I got a few irons in the fire, and as my 101-year-old father would say, man, you guys are busy. We're like, well, yeah, we're not 101 yet. We're working our way toward it. That's us. Now, does that mean that we're just working all the time? No. We can get out in the morning and go walk, and we may decide we're going to go take a walk that afternoon. But we largely are homebodies. We love our house. We love our neighborhood. We love just being able to look out the windows and see what we see. We love getting in the car and driving down to Cedar Creek or one of the other trails, or driving to some remote street, parking the car and just getting out and walking. Now, that's going to sound boring to some of you, and to others of you, it's going to sound glorious. For us, it's glorious. We don't go out to eat a whole lot. We don't. Nightlife is not a thing for us. It's just not a thing for us. A thing for us is, Rhonda will take a long bath, and I'll be doing some computer work, and then, we get in our recliners and we turn on BritBox, and we're watching some British mystery show or some series like that, or we're watching right now Dallas Stars hockey. Hopefully they advance to the next round. We'll see. As I'm recording this, they just lost Game 6, so it's It's a 3-3 series, best of 7. So game 7 will determine the winner tomorrow night. And that's what we do. Rhonda, she loves OU women's softball. She's going to watch that. We don't spend a whole bunch of time in front of the TV, but that's what we're doing. If we're not walking, if we're not working, she can be in her sewing room, and the time just melts away because she loves it. I can be inside the yellow studio, and I can be working on this show or some of the other shows, or doing a Zoom call with a coaching client, and I'm happy as a clam. Happy as a clam. That's us. That's us. So if you take these 3 groups of folks, the folks like us that we're at retirement age, but we haven't retired because we don't want to. And whether it's because you don't want to, or you kind of love it and you kind of need the money, we like both. I want a cash flow life as much as possible, and that suits us. That second group, where you need to make a little bit of money to supplement your income, I would just be honest, be careful. Just be careful. I mentioned Northwest Arkansas. There are significantly more opportunities in other places because Hot Springs Village is still a small community. I don't know, 16,000, 18,000 people inside the village. And the employment opportunities, they're just not great. They're not great. Now, if you need to make, say, $500 or so a month, you just need some little part-time job, you might be able to find it. But I'm going to tell you, don't bet the farm and come here because you know you need $500 or so a month to make it. Don't go pot committed here. Get your ducks lined up before you do that, because you might find it challenging, you may not. If you work remotely or you're able to work remotely, you can absolutely do that here in Hot Springs Village, provided it doesn't, it's not a negative with your work. I mean, if an employer says you can't do it, then the infrastructure and the technology to be able to do it ain't going to matter. So you have to have permission to do it. So that's what I'm talking about. But if you're like me and you own your own business, or you are a freelancer and you need good connectivity, then you can get that here in the village. I will tell you this, that needs to be high on your list when you're looking at houses or property. You need to think long and hard and do your homework and see, okay, what internet options are available? Because the internet is not, you can't just plug in the zip code for Hot Springs Village and get access to the exact same internet providers. The internet provider that we have, I'm not real high on them, and I'm not real high on them mainly because I think they're woefully overpriced and their service, frankly, is pathetic. The internet's okay, but if you need customer service, good luck. I do have gigabyte service, so I've got high-speed download. I don't have great upload. I need really great upload. So what would be ideal for me is fiber. And I've been spoiled because I had fiber for a long time in DFW. I don't have fiber here yet, but Lord willing, that's coming. And when fiber kind of permeates the village, that's going to change things. And that's going to change things for the better for all of us, especially those of us that do kind of remote work. So if you can work remotely, that's absolutely possible here. Again, just kind of be careful where you look and make sure that you talk to your realtor, shout out to McGraw Realtors, and inquire about the internet connectivity in the area and what might be available to you, because we are in 2 different counties and different areas of the village have different internet providers. That first group, we're just retired. We're good to go. We're just going to, whatever we want to do, we want to do. If you want to travel, you are going to find a boatload of folks inside the village who travel regularly. You can drive to Little Rock and catch an airplane. You could drive to Memphis if you had to catch a plane. So travel, getting to an airport so that you could go to, let's say, some port of call so that you could board a cruise happens all the time. Folks around here do it a lot. So travel is not a problem. Want to play golf every day that the weather permits, pickleball, tennis, fish, hunt? Yeah. The answer is yes. The answer is yes. You can do all of the above as much as you want. You can't hunt inside the village. Yes, we have this urban hunt thing, but let's table that for the moment. But just outside the gates, there's all kinds of woods and things where you can connect with folks that hunt, and there's a whole lot of hunting that goes on around here, and a whole lot of fishing, and a whole lot of golf, and a whole lot of pickleball, and a whole lot of tennis. Again, we want high-flying nightlife. We want a lot of excitement, and we want to go out and do that 3-4 nights a week. We may not be your cup of tea. We could be if you're willing to drive, but we may not be your cup of tea. I don't know many people like that, but that's probably because, no offense, but you're probably just not my people, because I'm not wired like that at all. That sounds like a royal beating to me, but again, you've heard me say it before, you do you. You do you. I want you to find and figure out what works best for you. That really is the objective of the show, kind of the tertiary goal here. Yes, to satisfy our curiosity about this place, to shine a bright light on Hot Springs Village, but thirdly, for each of us to figure out what we want our retirement to look like and where we would like to, where we most would like to do it, and where most might make sense. All of those factors that we continue to talk about, Hot Springs Village, all these positive things, a low cost of living, 4 distinct climates, a gorgeous, gorgeous place. If you love big trees and you love these kinds of hills and mountains and this kind of topography and terrain, and you enjoy the wildlife, and I can tell you, this time of year especially, I mean, the birds, the bird life alone is worth it. It just, for a guy like me, it just is. So what the day in the life looks like for us may not be a day in the life that you most want. That does not mean it cannot be accomplished here inside Hot Springs Village. It probably can. May not, but it probably can. So there you go. HotSpringsVillageInsideOut.com, that's the website. My name's Randy. You knew that already. And you don't care. Nor should you care. Hope you figure it out, and I hope the show helps you in some small way do that. Till next time, see ya.
Thanks for watching Hot Springs Village Inside Out. You'll find all our episodes at HotSpringsVillageInsideOut.com or on YouTube.